Hey, welcome to the 50th episode of Restoring Christine. It's a milestone and I wanted to do something special. I've been working on the car, been making great progress. I've been building this channel. This is our 50th episode. It has just been a heck of a journey, and I want to welcome each of you that are watching right now. This is going to be a retrospective. I want to show you where we've been, where we're going. Plenty of shout outs and thank yous to everybody that tunes in, that subscribes. But let's get started. So I want to show you a couple of clips real quick. One of these is from 2013, the other's from 2014. And this is Christine before I started doing any work to her. And one of these is a night shot in the driveway, and another one is cruising down the interstate listening to some 50s music, and that's the only thing I listen to when we're cruising at Christine. So check these out. So how about a few basics? All right, Restoring Christine. Why Restoring Christine? Well, that's the name my kids gave to my 1956 Chevy Bel Air, car that I bought in 2005. This car, red and white, she looked like Stephen King's Christine. My kids loved the movie. They said, oh, boom, her name's Christine, and it's been that ever since. So I know it's not a 58 Plymouth Fury, but that's that's what we've affectionately called Christine for a long time. So my name is Bill, and when I started Restoring Christine, when I started, as in the sentence, when I started to restore Christine, when I started to restore the car, I thought I might do a Facebook page or something with it, and that's what I did when I restored a 1971 Cutlass that I had. 3 years I ran a Facebook page for it, and that's how I kept family informed, how I kept friends informed. But as we got started with this, I realized I was a couple of months into it, and I didn't do anything documenting it in social media. So my son says, hey, Dad, why don't you create a YouTube channel for it? And I'm like, how do we do that? And I already had a YouTube channel, and I have a little bit of experience with it, but nothing that was like really intentional. It was a channel, it was devoted to a subject, a singular subject, and that's what this channel is. So Restoring Christine, we started it maybe a little less than a year ago, pretty close to a year ago though, and but I'd done a bit of work on the car before I got started with the channel. And the first thing we did was it was laid up, it was in a warehouse, and I hadn't started it in a long time. It had stale fuel in it, and it was just time to restore it. So I rolled it out of mothballs and I towed it home. I'm going to show you some pictures. I towed it home. I had it on a tow dolly that I rented from U-Haul, and rolled it into the garage and started to disassemble it. And I pulled out everything. I pulled off the interior, all the trim. I pulled the motor out, the transmission, bumpers, everything. I pulled everything out and put all of that on the side. And then I got in touch with a blaster, and I wanted to strip it down. Even though it was a pretty car, I wanted to strip it down to bare metal so I could see what I was dealing with. And unfortunately, it was just junk. I could not believe that for a car that I've had for, at the time, 16, 17 years at the time I had Christine, and it was just junk. So it crushed me, but I said I'm going to fix it right. And so as we got rolling, my son, like I said let's start a YouTube channel. So I started a YouTube channel, and I sat here and I stood in front of this very tripod with my phone in front of me, and I just monologued, and I said, here's my story. Here's where I came from. Here's how I know how to do this. Here's what cars have meant to me in my life. And that was episode 1. Episode 1 was just, me sitting here explaining to you guys who I am, why I am, what it is that I'm doing, why I'm doing it. and just basically gave you the introduction to me, Bill, and to Christine, and we got this channel started. So I had a handful of 5 or 6 episodes that I did, and it was a learning experience. I wasn't really in front of the camera a lot. I was behind the camera doing repairs, but as we got to doing it more and more and more, I got a little more comfortable with it, and it took, I don't know, 20 or so episodes before I kind of found my style. And all right, so we started putting together consistent episodes that really showed the channel in a consistent light, and I've been doing it that way ever since. So over time I started doing work on the body, and I was learning as I went with the welding and fabricating sheet metal, and I was going to school and other YouTubers. You know, the list is long and distinguished of who I learned from. But you know, I felt like as I was going to create videos, my videos, I didn't have but a handful of subscribers in the very beginning, and at this moment I only have, I think I have 840 or so. So as I'm doing this, episode 50, and you know, I'm doing this to be helpful. I'm doing this to document the build. I'm doing this to have something that if anybody comes to me to a cruise event and they say, oh, what? I can say, hey, I got a channel. Go look it up. You want to go see what I got? You know, this is how I did it. I'm doing this channel for the sake of my kids. You know, in the future, this will be something in legacy form that they'll be able to look back and say, wow, when Dad was a younger man. Or maybe after I'm gone, I don't know. But, you know, so I'm doing it to kind of like just document a period in time. And I'm doing it to be helpful. I'm doing it to teach. I'm doing this channel to help others learn to do what you know I'm doing here, and to do that. I want to present it in an enjoyable way. So every one of my videos, I don't typically want to just sit there and just say, here's what I did. I want there to be purpose behind it. I want there to be, here's what I did and how I'm doing it, and how might that help you. You know, so that's really what this channel is all about. Is I'm trying to share some knowledge and the journey. Hey, do you know of somebody who insists on doing everything themselves? That's this guy. Maybe that looks like you. That's going to be me with Christine with this 1956 Bel Air. I've had her since 2005, and now I'm underway with this restoration, and I'm going bumper to bumper, doing everything myself. I will be doing all the work on it, all the body work, all the painting, interior, motor, transmission, trim, wiring, you name it. We're doing everything with my own hands, and you guys are going to be along for the ride. You can laugh and cry with me. So you know, we've had these episodes coming, and now that I've gotten, the further along we get, the better that I think that they've been getting. You know, so one thing that you'll notice about my episodes, is that I will play blues music, as much 50s music as I can find. So you might notice at the start of my videos, I have what I call, as I'm editing, a splash screen. I'll take like 6 different scenes from within that episode, and I'll throw them up, and I'll pop them up into the corners as we're playing the rockabilly music in the background. And it basically is a little taste of what's going to be in that episode. So how about we string a handful of those together and let some rockabilly and rock and roll music play in the background. I hope you enjoyed this. Why you gotta be on top of me? You gonna really? You gonna sit on me? You gonna sit on me? You're kidding me. You're a bad dog. Stop. Let me work. Bad dog. I'm on the floor trying to put in body bolts in this dog. So where do we go from here? You know, restoring Christine, the channel, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm about to get out of all the metal work right now. That's where we had 50 episodes in. I've got all the rust repaired. I'm starting to reassemble. I'm putting the doors back on, the fenders back on to get all the gaps aligned. So that's where I'm at in the build. Coming up, I'm going to be rebuilding a small block Chevy. I got a little small block here. I'll just turn it to so you can see it, but you probably have seen this in the background. Well, that's Christine's power horse. That's been there. I've had that motor in the car, and then now, you know, I'm going to rebuild it, and I'm thinking about putting some reproduction aluminum camel hump heads on it. It's got a nice little comp cam in it. It runs a Holley double pumper on it. I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to go with fuel injection. This is going to be a period hot rod. One of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to tattoo Christine when we finish painting her. I'm going to paint her myself, but the tattoo, I'm going to pinstripe her too, and I'm going to do it. So everything in this car, I'm doing the upholstery. The upholstery's on order from Ciadella. I will be doing that. I'll be doing video episodes on that. I'm going to be doing the wiring. I'm going to be doing all of the paint, motor work, everything. There's nothing on this car that I won't personally do, except maybe for charging the air conditioner. I'll probably sub that out, and who knows? I don't know. Maybe some of the glass work, but outside of that, all on me. So I tell you what, man. I really appreciate everybody that watches my channel. I say that every time, and I really mean that. I want this to be something that's helpful and useful to you guys. I want it to be entertaining. I'm trying to get, we're still trying to get it better. But if you're liking my channel, I'd appreciate a subscription. If you're enjoying the individual videos, man, thumbs ups are always good. And as a handful of my regulars can attest, I typically respond to every comment that I can. And I love the conversation. It keeps me going. So I hope you enjoy this retrospective. I really hope you're enjoying the channel. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to wrap this video up. And until next time, when we get back to work on the car, have our next episode 51 will be on some subject matter of a repair. Until then, take care of yourself. Cheers.